All right, it's Fake Fans, episode 8.
You're looking at me, and I never know the episode.
I know it's episode 8, but I'm looking at you and waiting for you to say, is it episode 8? But it's episode 8.
Well, it is episode 8. We are joined by a special guest, Brodin Plett, who's just come off another hot podcast. We're getting the premier podcaster in our small little house.
And it should be known that on our podcast, we were doing a little drinking. So
maybe we should drink on this podcast.
Oh,
I mean, you're kind of a beast when it comes to drinking. I've heard.
You're
a legend.
I don't drink that much, but sometimes when I do drink, it happens like in a small incremental time period, and so it looks like I drink a lot. I give the perception that I do because it's cool to drink. Kids do not drink, but it's cool to drink.
I would like the listener only, fans to know that I gave Brodin a very long and knowing look when Scarra said all that fucking vile, putrid bullshit.
It's a meme that I drink.
And then I reciprocated the look to Peter, and then we both kind of like shared an embrace real quick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a sensual one?
Well, the viewers can let you know if it's sensual. We won't say that through dialogue.
Don't kiss and tell, as they say.
Yeah. Kiss and show.
Kiss and show.
Anyway, so if people don't know Brodin is the... Wow, I don't know what his title is.
Yeah, what is your title at
Don't
OTV?
put this on me.
Wait,
Bro,
okay, so
Brodin,
I am the least involved here.
I got this. Brodin is a roommate who is part Scandinavian, really tall, above 6 foot, model-like pose. And for listeners who have no audio, he's also wearing a black shirt with a white jacket over it.
I love how
That was not the angle. I thought you were going to say like his title at OTV, not his like physical descriptors and also his heritage.
But I also like how conscious you guys are of the listener portion of this podcast.
We normally
never
that.
do. We normally actually
but
never
since
do.
you started, now I'm extra conscious. I'm like, holy fuck. We do have
technically
listeners.
I started, but
did you know we're actually huge in the Philippines? We were given the stats recently, and the statistics show that we are the number 3 podcast under
film and TV in the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Globally in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Or like country-wise, I guess.
Yeah, country-wise in the
On
Philippines.
iTunes.
On
Wow.
iTunes. For the month of last month. It starts to get a little bit more like, it sounds like bad.
Granular.
Yeah, it sounds bad when you start speaking more of it.
Well, now I got to look up my Filipino. I only remember Mahal Kita right now and Lintik Kayo.
You say mahal ko kayo, which I think means I love you all. So because I think mahal kita is singular.
You ready? These are all my notes from the Philippines.
Okay.
Right, what are some bangers?
Isang,
What's that?
dalawa,
Okay.
tatlo, apat, lima.
What do all those mean?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Got it. I was wondering why you weren't like translating what each of those were like after you said it, but that makes a lot more sense.
And then you can say, oh, charot. Just kidding.
It's the way you say it more than saying it that really does it for me.
Yeah, the way you just like brushed it off right there.
Peter, it's because you're so maganda.
What does that mean?
You're so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. How do you say it?
Maganda.
Maganda?
We're getting a little too sensual over here.
We are getting pretty like you were talking
Ano?
in a really sensual way.
Ano? That means what? Sorry.
Stop saying sorry afterward. Like you have that superior. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Are you Sabah? Oh, that one confused. Sorry.
I didn't know this was gonna be.
This guy has one fucking Jollibee birthday party, and like, look where it's fucking gone.
I got a whole page of notes.
That's
Whole
what
page.
I'm saying.
We got a hot toast take.
Yo, hey, what's up, Toast?
There are no good isekais in anime.
Whoa.
They all fulfill the power fantasy for incels. If you like isekais, you're a lonely incel.
We could name at least one good isekai.
Did you watch the slime one?
That's not the one I was gonna say was the good one.
What would you say is a good
Wait,
one?
yeah, there it is right there. The slime one.
Yeah, but like I would say that
Okay, maybe let's not say a good. What's the isekai you like?
is Overlord and Isekai.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, well, yeah, I like Overlord, but like not
You like the lizard
the
sex.
anime one. I like the manga.
You like the lizard
form.
sex.
No, that was the worst arc.
You love that.
That
arc.
was literally
You fucking
terrible
love
arc.
that arc. You thought that chimera lizard was fucking hot as fuck.
Overlord, I think if you're gonna do this genre where you have like you're a guild leader, super powerful, ultra cool guy, and you got subordinates. The subordinates have to be really cool for the show to be cool. The slime one does the same thing. The slime subordinates are not that cool, but Overlord, cool ass subordinates.
I liked the slime one because it feels like I'm watching someone play an RTS. It's not about the isekai or the characters at all. It's like, oh, he started trade relations with the Western country.
Yeah, I guess.
If we're talking about isekai with cool subordinates, the one off the top of my head that I think a lot of people would not consider good, but I like it's like level 999 infinite gacha or something.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, that one actually has cool subordinates. So basically, the thing is like there's this human kid who gets betrayed by his non-human allies and becomes unbelievably strong through like a set of circumstances. And his ability is that he could like roll gacha for like just whatever, right? Yeah. Usually before it was like a super useless ability. But then he was like teleported to like the center of a dungeon where all the mana is concentrated, obviously. So he starts rolling like super ultra giga SSSSS tier like characters. And those are all his allies. But like I think the character design for his allies were pretty cool for that
Before we get too deep into this manga talk,
sorry.
Let me go. I want to ask Brodin, how big of a manga, I don't want to say snob, enthusiast are you?
Oh yeah, true.
So I grew up reading manga.
Oh,
is that how you say it?
I don't like how you said that.
I think that is the way you say
okay.
it. Yeah, totally.
Continue.
When I was I don't remember how old, but I as a lad, as a boy, would watch Toonami and was aware of, Dragon Ball Z, what else? Yu Yu Hakusho, the Toonami ones.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was introduced to Adult Swim and was like, wait, there's even more, and it's kind of crazy.
Wait, what was on like Adult Swim?
Not some good stuff.
Inuyasha,
Some bad
Cowboy
stuff.
Bebop,
Yeah.
Trigun.
Bangers.
That was like a special occurrence where like I was at Grandpa's house and he was asleep and I was like had the TV at 1. But then when I was in like 4th or 5th grade, I discovered Shonen Jump. Like there was a Shonen Jump magazine in I want to say it was like a Lunardi's or something, like a Bay Area grocery store. Just had it and I was like, wait, I know that character. And it was Goku on the front. I picked it up and was introduced to the world of manga. And I was changed ever since.
In a good or bad way?
I was a subscriber to Shonen Jump.
Wow.
So I read all of... I basically...
Were you not?
No.
You were never subscribed to Shonen Jump?
Never.
I read like Shaman King since like chapter 1. I read like Yu-Gi-Oh from chapter 1, which is very different.
Incredibly violent death game manga.
It's not a card game.
Yeah. Honestly, when it switched to the card game, I was like, I'm kind of done with this.
Yeah.
But when it was like a death game, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's like what was it? Some fucking serial killer kidnapped Yugi and his friends, and then I think he beat the serial killer in like a shadow game, and the guy like was set on fire or something.
Wait, the arson one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, two that I remember like really clearly in my head where one is there's a kid in the high school that chloroforms girls and touches them.
Okay.
And Yugi finds out about this and challenges him to a death game where there's a jar of chloroform in the center and they have to pull paper from it as fast as they can, and whoever knocks off the chloroform dies.
I think that's literally... Oh, wait, no, that's different. That's the guy who's going to be set on fire.
I remember the premise being different, but I don't remember what happened. But you guys...
It was fucking death games. It was straight up death. Yugi was like one of the first death game manga that I ever read.
That looks like a carnival, but yeah, there's a death game one where he finds an arsonist, and then they have a death game of like, he makes a ring of fire, and then it's kind of like you create fires in the boundaries, and whoever gets burnt alive loses.
What the fuck?
A lot of fire. A lot of fire.
Wait, that's awesome.
Wait, you should read some of like the early chapters of Yu-Gi-Oh, because it does eventually turn into like the whole fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card game thing. But yeah,
the only Yu-Gi-Oh I've ever tried to like peruse outside of like I started with the TV show on like whatever Toonami or whatever it was, and then I was like, let me just watch all the TV shows consecutively, and it went from like Yu-Gi-Oh to like, I don't know, some random other like GX.
Yep.
Oh wow, you watched that far?
I watched some of the stuff too because I was just like, where does this story go? Does it get good at some point? And so like I watched some of it, and it's not my proudest moment. It was not terrible, but like when I tried to get back into anime a long time ago, I like somehow got caught into reading Yu-Gi-Oh, or not watching Yu-Gi-Oh. It wasn't even reading; it was watching.
So I, as a young child, was, I guess you could call me an influencer at a young age.
Okay.
I would bring these to my school. Like I showed my school Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the first time, and like everyone started buying them, and eventually got banned because people were playing for keeps and like trading, and they were getting stolen. I also invented a game when I was young called Shaman King. We called it SK, where it was kind of like a violent game. Eventually, that got banned too.
Wait, whoa. Let's just. Well, first of all, how did you play Shaman King?
Yeah.
So Shaman King was your arms were swords, and the way you won was if you could strike someone in their torso, they die or like they're out. So it's basically like martial combat where you're just like blocking and striking. But it got really violent. Like literally all the boys at my school would play, and we would have like all out wars where it's like 8v8 battles.
You invented that game?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of awesome.
I feel like there's a possibility that this game like went to other schools. Do you think there
Maybe
could be
so.
anyone that listens to this podcast? They're like, wait, what the fuck? I played Shaman King.
Yeah.
Back in elementary school.
SK.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called it SK so that the teachers would know you like, you don't play SK at recess.
You?
Kids are so fucking dumb. Like,
Yeah.
why like I remember there's like so many different things we would do as kids, and we think we're being so subtle and discreet, but it's like it's so fucking glaringly obvious, like what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
But
When I was a kid, I used to do like knuckle people with my middle knuckle in their back on the spine, and call that like a move or something. And that would just be like how I introduced myself to people, like my friends. And I realized at some point that I was physically hurting them, like really badly.
Dude, I had the same thing. So I okay, I'm gonna sound really nerdy here.
Okay.
I loved like Ty Lee from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Neji from Naruto.
Yeah.
So I loved like pressure point fighting. And I took martial arts as a kid, and I like told like my, I guess you'd call him like my sensei or whatever, like I'm really interested in pressure point fighting, and he gave me a book on how to do it.
what the fuck? How old were you when you did
And
this?
This is like elementary to middle school.
So your sensei was like, yeah, you know what? This kid learning pressure point fighting.
He's
that
like,
sounds like a
yeah,
good idea.
you're into martial arts, yeah.
He was just excited that he was interested.
So I like literally, I read that book front to back, and I don't know that I remember all of them now, but I knew like spots like there, because there's certain muscle points. It's all about hitting the muscles. So if you hit like dead center on a muscle, it'll like kind of deaden it. And it's like that's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I can't. It's like a dead leg or whatever. If you do the joint one, that's just like intense pain. So I had all this knowledge, and then would go to like my friends and be like, hey, what's up? And then knock them. And it got to a point after, I want to say like 2.5 months, where one friend who really had it bad was like had a breakdown. I was like, dude, stop. I hate you. I don't like when you do this anymore. And I was like, oh my God, I'm the villain. I'm the bad guy.
Wait, you guys are bad people. What the fuck? Like, when did you guys realize you were the school bully?
Because like you don't know, like you think like someone else does it, or like you do it, and you're like, ah, this is cool. And when you're a kid, you're like, this is cool. I can do cool moves.
I mean,
because it's because your frontal lobe, or what is it? Like the front lobe is not fully developed yet, right?
I was also like I thought of it like training. If there was a week where I hit it dead on every time, like I'm getting better. Good. I would also do stuff like, I wanted to get good at pickpocketing, so I would take like a pen or something, and then plant it in someone's pocket without them knowing, at like the beginning of recess, and then my like mission during recess was to get it back from them without them knowing, and that was my way. Like it wasn't like bad at all because I had put it there in the first place. So if someone ever caught me, it was like, no, why do you have my pen, dude? And they're like, what the fuck? Okay, here you go. Yeah, I did stuff like that as a kid.
Where would you put yourself on like an RPG alignment in terms of like, you know what I mean?
Like that chaotic neutral,
Yeah.
whatever. I want to say I'm chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chaotic neutral.
I feel like our childhoods, or that childhood, is very different than mine. like when I said that, I was like, I feel kind of bad about it. He started talking about how he like tried all this shit, how he like brutally injured his pressure points of his friends.
I felt really bad about that one. Yeah, that one actually was a wake up call. I was like, oh, I gotta put these away. Can't use these anymore.
What we had in common was, oh, we both were subscribed to Shonen Jump. You guys had in common, oh, we used to just fucking brutalize our friends and like injure them and shit.
I also used to sell cards at school. Like I sold Pokemon cards to people, singles. I started like essentially a solo card shop. It's only at school. And it got to the point where like, my mom was helping me sell it.
Wait, how did you source or your mom would just
Oh,
buy
I
the cards?
had a lot of the cards. So like I had bought so many cards, and my mom was like, "We can make money off of this." So like my mom was selling to the kids, and it was like at some point I realized I was like, "Are we bad? Like we're not bad people, but
That's
like we were
wild.
selling like hollows for like $10-20, but it'd be like."
Oh, and they didn't like understand. Like you guys would know the value of the cards.
Well,
before
like we
selling
would
them?
assume the value wouldn't be that much because a booster pack is like so and so, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so it'd be
Wait,
like
there's possible that you hooked up a kid up with like a foil Charizard on a pretty nice deal then.
that. I mean, in today's terms, yeah, maybe one of the blast choices or whatever I sold are actually worth. We made they got an investment,
Yeah.
but at the time, no, we were scamming them for sure. My mom was in on it, and I was just like, man, my mom really helps me with everything. Like,
Yeah.
that's called true parenting. I enjoyed that.
Do you guys collect anything else besides Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon cards?
Crazy Bones.
Really?
Are you familiar with Crazy Bones?
Was it a game or was it just a collectible thing?
It was a game. It was kind of like marbles, where like you'd have like an arena or a ring,
Uh-huh.
and then you would set them up. So you'd have like 5, and the other person had a 5, and then you would, when it was your turn, you'd like set one down and then flick it, and you try to knock the other person's out of the ring.
Oh,
ring.
it was that type of game.
And it was a game where you'd play for keeps. So if you knock them all out, you get to keep one of theirs.
I think that makes a lot of sense why those are banned at my school too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I remember that was just like one of the things I heard about but never actually got to own, and then it was like banned before I got to keep it myself.
I never
Yeah.
got to play this either, but I think I've heard of it.
My school mostly did marbles, and then like Pokemon cards got banned because of their alignment with Satan, of course.
That's so fun. Jodi said that literally in the last podcast I was on. She's
Oh.
like, yeah, we can't do Pokemon or Digimon because Satan.
Satan,
But
yeah.
it's like I mean, we did Pokemon, we did Yu-Gi-Oh. No one cared. But
That's
like
so
I
interesting.
went to a private middle school, so like the rules were more
It's
toward like
godless there.
Is it because it's about evolution?
oh maybe
Oh, wait. Honestly, though, I don't even think they knew about that aspect of Pokemon, to be honest. I think they just saw a thing that kids were obsessed with and they just assumed Satan was involved somehow.
And if for Digimon, there's Angelmon. You know, maybe there's like
yeah.
oh
You should have shown him Angelmon.
well, no, they would have been like that's sacrilegious.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Wait, is Angelmon the one that evolved from a cat?
Yeah,
That's a crazy
So
evolution.
that's where cat girls come from.
No,
Yeah, that's
What the fuck?
it's actually wild.
I actually remember thinking that Angel Mom was hot when I was a wee lad.
I
I
remember
think
being a kid
everyone
and being like,
did.
oh, it's like a little cat, and then it evolves, and you're like,
Wait
am I
a
allowed to
second.
watch this anymore?
Yeah. Like, why is there like metal across her tits?
You know, but the theme song was sick. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Wait, fuck. Who did I play the Digimon? I played the Digimon song for someone recently, and they said it was dog shit. Was it Jason?
Jason, I want you to react to the Digimon Frontiers soundtrack.
Oh, Digimon Front.
Yeah.
Was this
look
is
to
this-
the stars as we head to the future.
Oh, is this the third one?
Will you
It's
guys get
gotta be.
DMCA'd for listening to openings, or will this get cut out?
I don't know. I do not remember. I don't think I ever watched Frontiers.
This.
This is the one where they turn into the
That's-
Digimon.
Oh, I definitely never-
reclaim the
Wait.
digital world.
There was a Digimon where the kids turned into the monsters?
Yes, they fuse with the monsters.
I don't think I ever watched this.
This was sick.
What the fuck?
This and Tamers were both good. One solution.
Wait, Scar's older than me and he knows about this shit.
shit.
Damn, maybe Digimon was just cool and I was missing out.
No, Digimon, I've always said this, is the biggest waste in terms of potential. Because Digimon and Pokemon, I feel like, had very similar like trajectories in terms of like they were really both cool at the very beginning. And it feels like Digimon kind of made their IP not as big from a lot of different decisions. Like the games
Yeah.
weren't as successful, and like just the like I don't know, the marketing, the everything from the merchandise was just
Yeah.
not as good.
Like Pokemon's still a household name.
Yeah.
Digimon, not so much.
Yeah, Digimon is like
Yeah.
really whatever.
Wait, okay, is Yokai Watch still a thing? I heard at one point it was bigger than Pokemon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like it just like never took off in the US.
Yeah, it was never I don't even know this, but I've heard of it, but I know it's not anything big in the West.
I'm familiar that it was big at a time. Like it was going to be the Pokemon killer, but I don't think it survived.
But then I heard it was like mega popular in Japan, but like it just like didn't take off at all in the
Wow.
US.
Yeah.
Like at all. So
Pokemon was sick. Just like
Pokemon is
Yeah.
still is sick, man. Like
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, the fucking games are kind of like lazy as shit, but like I still buy them and play them.
I remember when Pokemon Go came out, 1 month piece.
World peace.
Yeah,
Peace.
world peace for a month.
Dead bodies were found.
That was cool.
You know?
Yeah, like literally everyone would be going out.
That was the nicest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would see you if you were in LA, you'd see everyone at the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
Everyone with the fucking Pokeballs and shit.
Someone would say like, "There's a Gyarados down at the end of the pier," and everyone would start running. Yeah.
Wow. Really was peak.
Yeah. I was in San Diego at the time when the Pokemon Go craze was fucking happening, and it was like it came out like right after me and my longtime ex or my longtime girlfriend just broke up.
Mhm.
So it like came at the fucking perfect time. Really.
So I was in Europe when it dropped in the US, and so I was just watching like online, like, damn, looks so fun.
It was a crazy
Yeah,
thing.
that shit was like
I would
an insane phenomenon.
Yeah, it was just something that was just unbelievable. When that like an IP like Pokemon can do that. Digimon, bro, if they came out with Digimon Go, I don't know, man.
Bro, I'd play it. I mean, they came out with Monster Hunter Go or Monster Hunter Now, which
Monster
is,
Hunter probably is a bigger brand than Digimon right now. I don't know if that's true. No one quote me on
I
that.
would say that's probably true.
No, yeah,
now, like what I mean, fucking Monster Hunter sales are like really, really fucking good. I'm pretty sure, and like all the Digimon games that have come out, like I'm not saying they're bad, but I think like they haven't sold nearly as many copies.
Did you guys ever play Barcode Monsters?
Oh, I fucking did. Like, oh my god, yes. So Barcode Monsters
Yep.
was like
not.
they're called scanners, right?
Scanners.
Yeah, so basically, you know how like Digimon had like a physical toy that was similar to like a Tamagotchi. Yeah, so they made like, a big ass bulky version of that shit where you could like scan barcodes and it would give you like a random monster that you could raise and fight with
This reminds me of Monster Rancher, which was
with the CDs and
one
shit.
of my favorite PlayStation games of all time. You would put in a CD, it would give you a monster, but it wasn't random. But you didn't know that as a kid.
Dude, they used to be so creative.
Yeah, it was no. You know what I would do? I would literally go to the Barnes and Nobles and go to the section with all the CDs, like free CDs, like free game trials. I would just take them, and I would just be like, yes,
Scan them all?
yeah. I'm like, yes, free monster. I'd run home and play them in. Oh, that was it good.
I would take my scanners to like the grocery store with
Yeah.
my mom and just like scan, leave with 100 monsters. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the most recent Monster Rancher game was 2022, but I think
That's
it might have been Japan only. I'm not
Very
sure.
recent.
That might have been Japan only.
Monster Rancher was incredible. Monster Rancher 2 is one of my favorite games of my childhood. So
I don't remember. I always get that confused with like, what is it? Not Dragon Quest.
it taught me stuff really early. Yeah, Dragon Warrior Monsters maybe, or Dragon.
One of those. Yeah.
Also one of my favorite games. The one thing about Monster Rancher that I taught you was that your life and death happens. You cannot save your favorite monster. It just dies.
I learned that from Fire Emblem.
Oh.
Damn, yeah. I actually fucking Fire Emblem. The first Fire Emblem for Game Boy Advance was like the first permadeath game
Was
I
that the
ever
one with
played.
Lyn?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
That
had
was
such
the same
a huge
for me.
crush on Lyn.
Wait, so like the games were always permadeath? Like permadeath is just on?
Yes.
Yeah. If a character dies, they're gone. So you can either reset your save or keep going with them gone forever.
Yes, I'm pretty sure the
Oh.
first Game Boy Advance game in the U.S. at least for Fire Emblem, there wasn't an option to not have that.
I thought permadeath was like an option, like an
Yeah,
optional game.
I think
mode.
they started making it optional with the sequel Sacred Stones.
They made it optional.
Yeah.
I never finished the game because like I got to a point where like I leveled my characters poorly and would just always have people die and I didn't want them to.
I want to
just
say the
didn't finish it.
first one with Lyn, it was not optional, but then
Yeah.
the follow-up game also on Game Boy Advance, which I fucking love still, Sacred Stones, was optional.
I love that it's permadeath. Learning that shit early as a kid, I'm like, wow, my decisions matter. My choices in life lead to they have consequences, you know?
Dude, your favorite character dies, and then they have like death, like something that they say upon death. They're like, oh, I wanted to see them one last time. And then you hear like their character like dying, and it's just like fucking traumatizing.
Or there'd be characters that like you can convert, like they're originally enemies, and then you have to convert them mid-battle.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, they're just you'll never see them again.
Oh yeah, there are times where like the character would like emerge from the shadows, attack one of my dudes. My dude just fucking crits them and instantly kills them, and I'm just like, okay, well, I have to restart the fucking mission.
Yeah.
again. So.
Right, because at the time you have to reset because you got to get everyone.
Exactly.
And it's also not immediately obvious like how you're supposed to recruit these characters. Like sometimes it's pretty obvious like how you're supposed to do it. Like they kind of like hint at what their role is, but sometimes you kind of have to like, oh, will this character interact with them? Will this character interact with them? Like you kind of like go through like your entire roster until like the correct person like, oh, it triggers their fucking recruiting.
Yeah.
As a person who's
stage.
not a gigantic, very much dislike tactics-oriented games, like Final Fantasy Tactics, Fire Emblem game.
You disgust me.
I'm just not a fan.
One of my favorite games of all time is like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. That game is a fucking banger. But anyway,
yeah, just for me, like I do enjoy watching other people play it. I was definitely more into like I'd watch that, and then myself I just play like JRPGs. Like I was back then, I would be playing stuff like Golden Sun.
oh
yeah.
Golden
See,
Sun's
they
so
were
good.
so innovative.
They
So
were
good.
so
I remember
good.
seeing a friend with Golden Sun. It's like, why are you playing it outside? It's like, you have to.
Oh no, you're thinking of Boktai.
Am I?
Yeah, it's Golden Sun's a different game. Boktai is the one where it has like the sun sensor, right?
You're thinking of that game, I'm pretty sure. Like that.
Does Golden Sun not have it?
No,
I swear it was
think
called Golden
so.
Sun.
no. Look up Boktai, Boktai. I think that's how you spell it.
I've never heard
The sun is in
that.
your hand. Yeah. So this game, the cartridge had a sunset, like a light sensor, and that's how you would
Yeah.
power your
Wait,
weapons.
Is there a sequel to Golden Sun that has that?
There's
No,
a Golden
there
Sun-
is a sequel to Golden Sun, but it doesn't have that. It never had this sun mechanic.
So what's funny is I've never heard of this game, and I was told it was called Golden Sun when I.
Nope. I mean, that would make sense why it would be called that. Also, this game is by Konami. I think Kojima worked on this game.
Wow.
Yeah, this game is by Hideo Kojima.
Whoa.
Wow, he has some crazy games.
Yeah.
His like roster of games is insane.
Yeah. Can't wait till the next
Death Stranding.
Game Awards announcement for the announcement of the next thing that they're gonna do together. It's gonna be sick.
Timothy Chalamet is going to be in it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
Can't tell if you're fucking with me or not.
I can't tell either. I'm just rolling along with it.
Me too.
Can't tell if it's a bit. Oh. Wait, what was the first game you ever played?
My oldest game ever was Math Blaster for the PC.
Dude, okay,
Oh,
those
true.
games were pretty
Good.
fucking good.
Like no joke. Like I would play this right now. You had it on. I think the game was on the floppy disk, which I don't know if some of our viewers would even know what a floppy
They
disk is.
only know the floppy disk as the save icon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there was a period of time when the floppy disk, people tried to do that bigger floppy disk that held more, and they like caught on for like 5 years, and they got obsolete.
Was it even for 5 years? I
It
don't
was like
actually ever remember it
3
being used
years.
in my lifetime.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, it's kind of like, wasn't there like a thing that was supposed to replace DVDs, but it just got owned by Blu-ray?
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't remember exactly my first game. There's a few runners like that were my first.
Mhm.
Oregon Trail.
No.
Oh.
One was like Wario on the original Game Boy. Like
Oh.
the gray brick. That one was really sad because that was like my favorite game growing up. I literally memorized every cheat code in my head. And I went on a trip to Lake Tahoe for skiing, and we went out on the mountain, and we came back, and I can only assume the cleaners stole my Game Boy and all my games.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked, man.
Well, as a person who owned the original Game Boy, I remember playing like Dragon Warrior Monsters on it.
I was
This is
crestfallen.
before Dragon Quest. It was like that. This is a Pokemon offshoot. Dragon Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking insane game. One of my favorite games of all time.
You're talking about the gray one.
Yes.
Like
I
black
had
and white
the
brick.
original black and white
Yeah.
gray. Before they made Game Boy Color and
Yes.
color was a thing.
Yes.
I had the brick.
Damn.
That would take place. And I would in the car play it like this. And my mom would yell at me. Literally, she'd be like, "Put that down," because I was ruining my eyes.
Oh, dude, would you do the thing where like you're in the car at nighttime and then the lights would go by and then like you're like kind of trying
Yes.
to use the light from the
I-
street to see what's going
I would
on?
literally have to read by moonlight. Like I'd imagine they did like when they were in the hunter gatherer era when they fucking were reading like signs by moonlight. I was reading my books like this, and my mom would just be so mad at me. I read Harry Potter like that because I couldn't wait for it to go home. So
Yeah.
on the night of the release, I would read
Yeah.
like
For the viewers at home, by the way, back in the day, gaming like travel things did not have backlights.
yeah.
You had to use actual light to light your gaming device.
And my mom would yell at me if we used a car light because that was a resource.
Yeah, parents
But-
were always like, "Hey, no car lights."
Well, I mean, isn't it because like there's glare on your front windshield?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
harder
like, it's
to
supposed to be,
see,
like,
so
maybe
it's,
dangerous
harder
or
for them to
something?
drive or
I
something
mean,
like that.
I
But-
drive.
But they're probably just making that
But
shit
it's
up.
my eyes or their safety, and really, like I had to get LASIK, so like I don't know.
So my eyes are still 20/20,
okay,
and I would say that it even gave me the power to not get car sick, like ever. Like I can like read, be on my phone.
Until
no problem.
recently.
Only if the driver's horrible.
Jodi needed that shit because she still gets car sick.
I know.
I've never met a group of people that actually got car sick outside of this group.
I'm surprised at how often people.
I don't get car sick. I never get car sick, and I only just recently got car sick like twice because of horrifically bad Uber drivers.
Yeah, that's typically why.
Oh,
But other than that, it's been pretty good. And
Yeah.
maybe it was because I was like so honed in on like reading with terrible lighting in the car when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you guys both had the original brick
Yeah.
Game Boy. I had the my first ever console that I personally owned was a purple Game Boy Color.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my first console ever, and
classic.
yeah, it's a classic. First game I ever owned myself was also Pokemon Red. So
classic.
also a classic. Probably one big influence on just me gaming in general, and then also Dragon Warrior 3 specifically.
But not the monsters. It was
Not Monsters. I never played Monsters. I just because like back then, like your parents are gonna maybe buy you a game
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a year, right?
Mhm.
I would say.
Yeah.
Shut up.
No. I'm in the same boat. I was even less. I
Oh,
would have
okay.
to like scrape by to get something if I wanted it.
Yeah.
But I was just talking to my friend about this, Julian. You know, we were talking about how when you were a kid, yeah, you got maybe 2, maybe 3 games a year, and you'd get that game, and like you're so excited to play it. Before you get home, you take the like handbook out, and you're just like reading the handbook.
You read the whole fucking dude. I
Yeah.
miss
Yeah.
game handbooks, man.
Yeah, you're just like reading, like, damn, okay. You're like going over the control schemes
Yep.
and shit. You're like getting ready. It tells you like a little bit of the history.
It's like little stories and hints
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
And like they have like unique game art just in the handbook.
Yeah. And what's funny is if you think about it, those really like early ones, old ones, people actually needed those because the gaming wasn't like normalized yet.
yeah,
You would get a game and not know how to play it.
yeah. Like, how do you
You're like,
jump?
okay,
Like,
how do
what does
I-
this button do?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I don't know. I just remember I would just play the fucking shit out of whatever game my parents would like buy for me that year. I will admit that I stole a Pokemon Silver from a kid at school in elementary school because he kept flexing.
The look Amanda just gave you
Yeah.
was
Okay,
actually
Okay,
crazy.
listen. I'm not saying that what I did was good or justified, but I remember this kid kept making fun of me for being poor and was just like flexing. Like he literally had like a bucket that had his Game Boy, like his Game Boy Color, and like all like 10 different Game Boy Color games and like a Game Shark and shit. And like he was just like flexing and like telling all the other kids like how everyone else is poor compared to him. So you know, like
Did he even miss the game?
oh, he missed the game because I fucking pocketed the Game Shark and the Pokemon Silver, and I just like walked away with it. And then they actually chased me down across the yard, and they're like, "Hey, I'm missing my Pokemon Silver and my Game Shark. Did you take it?" And I was like, "No, I didn't take it." He's like, "Let me search your pockets." And like kids are so fucking dumb back then that like I was like, "Okay, fine. Here, take my jacket. Check this first. I have to go over there right now, and then you can check my pockets later, okay?" And they're like, "Okay." So they took my jacket. I walk away. I hide the Pokemon Silver and the Game Shark like behind
In a
the
bush or
building or some
something.
shit. Yeah. I come back and I empty it. It's like, "Here, see, I don't have anything." I make like a whole show of it. I like take off my shoes and shit. It's like, "I don't have it. Like, what do you want from me?" And they're like, "Oh, fine." And they walk away. I'm just like,
Damn.
even back then, I remember like when I was like, I think I was like 8 or 9. I was like, I can't believe that fucking works. Like,
you were snubbed.
Yeah,
you should
you-
have got the Oscar there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't. You were way smarter than your peers.
well, but like still pretty dumb. Like,
What's funny is you mentioned Game Shark. That was like, I'm thinking now about how AI is stealing jobs
Yeah.
when Game Shark came around. So at extended care after school, I was
they call
like
it
a
extended care.
yeah EC.
That sounds like
Cool.
a hospital term.
Yeah.
It smelled like a hospital.
Okay.
After school you'd go there, and then like everyone whose parents were like still working, whatever, just would pick up their kids later. But I was like a walking computer, like Game Boy savant, where I would like go onto the computer, and a lot of kids didn't use computer at that time. I would go onto the computer and just search like cheat codes for games, and then memorize them. And then I would go to school as like, I think I was like first or second grader, and just have all these memorized in my head. And I would be sitting like playing a game, and the 8th graders would come around and be like, "Hey, what's the code for like Infinite Money?" And I'd be like, hand it back to them and keep playing. They're like, "Sick. Here, do you want to play? I have Pokemon Yellow, or I have like Dragon Warrior." Like they would like use me for codes and be like, here, what do you want to play? I have like FIFA Tech or whatever. Game Shark comes around and all my business dried up, man. They didn't need me anymore.
Well, it was crazy that cheat
Wow.
codes, like cheat codes in general, are just like not a thing anymore. They don't exist.
Yeah.
They're basically DLC now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of
Or
wild.
pay to win. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You lost your job.
Yeah.
To the original.
it did kind of remind me, like, I forgot when it was, but basically I used to use GameFAQs a lot,
Mhm.
and I had a printer, and that was like kind of a side hustle I did. Was I would just print out things like little guides for what people needed to do
Yeah.
in certain games that they got stuck on, and they would pay me like $1 for it. But then I got my ass whooped by my dad because he realized where all the fucking printer ink was going. It was going into me fucking printing out these. These were some thick ass guides. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, I remember the Final Fantasy guide, or like some of the guides for like the RPGs were humongous.
yes, and even back then, printer ink was pretty fucking expensive, especially for like my like family that was just getting by. So yeah, my dad got really fucking pissed off when he found out what I was doing because like essentially I think I was losing my dad money. Like like it didn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
But like for my dad, it obviously cost money to buy the fucking printer ink. But yeah, like I would sell these like pretty fucking thick packets of like how to get through Final Fantasy 3 on the Game Boy. So yeah.
I did not expect to be talking about essentially
Retro gaming.
retro gaming here.
Yeah.
This makes it. I feel like this is what people who are really old talk about, but like,
We are really old.
okay, no.
Brodin's the youngest person here, and he's in his 30s.
Woo.
Oh my god!
Yeah, isn't that wild? We're a
Yeah.
bunch of fucking 30-plus-year-olds.
Talking about manga.
Dude, manga is timeless, though.
That is true.
Manga is timeless.
That
Did you end up reading Centauria? We told our some of our listeners to try reading the first couple chapters of Centauria because there's only like 5 or 6 chapters out right now.
I've been on back-to-back podcasts. I didn't
Yeah.
have time to read
That's
that.
fine.
Oh,
That's totally fine.
then what have you read recently? And I know this is just a leading question because I recommend Brodin manga to read. And like, this is before I knew Brodin. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna read manga, but like I'll send him some cool shit. For me, Brodin is like creative guy. Like for me, he's like, oh, his imagination goes crazy places. So I think he would love like really crazy things. So I'm like, oh, he doesn't want to read words. He wants to see images, cool fucking illustrations. So I sent him
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man originally, and he was like, holy shit, this is so good. And then I sent him Dan to Dan, and he's like, oh, this is so. I remember I sent him Chainsaw Man, and he read it, and he came back to me. He's like, it's not finished.
I was upset with you, okay? I was livid. I was expecting to go into something and be like, oh, I'm going to finish this thing. And then I get to the end, I'm like, Scarra.
What?
The story's not over.
That's why, dude, I always give like the preamble, like, by the way, this is not done yet. This is not finished yet. Because like the amount of times I've debated people into thinking like, oh, this is like a good like start to finish series. And they come back to me, it's like, you're telling me this isn't done yet? And not only is it not done yet, it hasn't been updated in 8 months. You fucking piece of shit.
When recently, Jodi's been ridiculously down bad. So she's been using my Crunchyroll account to watch anime. And I recommended her Apothecary Diaries. And with no shit, 48 hours later, I get a message at 2 a.m. I'm asleep at this point. And she's like, I finished it all already. Where can I find the manga? And she gives me a gun emoji. Tell me. And I'm like, wake up. I wake up the next day and I'm like, I don't know exactly what source you want to use for this. You should ask Celine. By the end of the day, the day she asked, she's like, I finished it.
Yeah.
It's not done. She was like, I can't believe it's not over. And I'm like,
She's down fucking bad right now.
Ugh.
She's down bad, but I love it. I love that. For
yeah,
her.
I'm really happy because like she had always read manga in the past. It's really interesting because I ended up reading books. I went from reading like straight fantasy fiction, pretty much, or fiction, straight into reading manga. Like I stopped reading fantasy fiction, and then she went from like to manga and then over to fantasy fiction. So she is like mainly I would say a fantasy fiction reader.
Yeah, but she's back on the manga train, baby.
Oh, man, maybe anime trade.
Well, okay, well, anime train too. But she actually did ask me for recommendations on what would she like as someone who loved Apothecary Diaries. And to be honest,
It's hard.
Wasn't
It's-
really sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting next to her Googling what anime is similar to Apothecary Diaries. And I'm literally just like, Not that one.
I would say it's like Apothecary Diaries is pretty unique.
Yes.
I think like the only thing you could maybe compare it to for like other series was like maybe the relationship between the main character and like the guy, maybe. But like even then, it's like I think the setting's really cool and interesting, and like it's nice to have like a smart heroine that's capable.
It's historical.
So its historical setting is cool too.
Got a little mystery.
So this is where I am opening it up to you guys. If you guys know any good recommendations for someone that likes Apothecary Diaries, I mean, I would be interested in reading it too.
Please let us know. But back to our actual guest, Brodin. What did you think about the stuff I recommended you? I mean, obviously you liked it because I don't have bad recommendations.
Wait, what did you recommend? Like Chainsaw Man, Dan, and
That's
what
it.
else? Okay.
Well, originally you had recommended was it Firestarter to me as well?
Fire Punch.
Oh, Fire
Punch.
Punch.
Yes. But I never read that one.
Honestly,
read
valid. That one's crazy.
I think you would like Fire Punch.
Yeah.
It's really surreal. It's like gruesome and surreal, but I think you would enjoy it. I don't think you would like it maybe as much as the other two, but I think you would like appreciate it for what it is.
Let me explain to people what Fire Punch is. So Fujimoto is one of his original stories. I would say is it his first? Is it his first or second?
I want to say it's like his first breakthrough series.
His first breakthrough series was a series called Fire Punch. I'm gonna just spoil the first chapter, and it's crazy. It's a brother and sister are in a village, and the entire world is frozen over. Okay, it's like an eternal ice age. The village lacks food, but people in this world have superpowers. Both the children have the power of regeneration, so they cut off their limbs and use that as meat to feed the village. And his brother cuts himself off more because he doesn't want his sister to do it. Then the military come and I think start taking away his sister, I think. Or something happens where he gets in an altercation with the military officer. The military officer has the power to burn anything, ever. He sets this guy who has infinite regeneration on fire, and then he turns into an ever-burning man. And that is the first chapter of the manga. And I'm just like, I'm reading this, I'm just like, what the fuck am I reading?
Yep.
You know
Fire
what's
Punch
funny?
is his first serialized series.
People also search for Chainsaw Man, Fire Force, Dan.
Yeah.
One of those is not like the other.
Yeah, Fire Force is
Yeah.
Dan was really fun reading it. I'm still reading it weekly, but I do feel like it's entering a stage of like cycling. Like it seems to be just like, oh, meet a new person, they're affected by ghosts, they join the team. So I'm hoping that it evolves into something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still enjoying it.
I think it will. I mean, I'm just like the fucking 2-page spreads alone is like fucking worth it. I think Dan has like some of the most insane art. For like a weekly series I've ever seen. So, yeah, I do agree with you though. It is hitting like a kind of a formulaic pattern, which is why I'm not really enjoying reading it weekly as much anymore.
Yeah,
but I still like it.
What about Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw Man just keeps innovating.
Yeah.
They like I open that and I'm like, I don't know where we're gonna go. Let's see.
But isn't that crazy that you can read something and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he does it well. Like that's what I'm most impressed with. Like you could do random shit, but you gotta have like some semblance of like stuff. Like I don't know, a world.
Chainsaw Man feels to me like those magicians that have that like a little handkerchief and you're like, hey, pull, and you start pulling and it's just like,
Oh my
wait,
God.
when does it stop?
I mean, I think Fujimoto does a really good job of kind of like world building without like hitting you over the head with it. Because like, you know how like in the original arc, there's like the concept of like if Chainsaw Man kills a devil, that concept is just like erased from memory. I love how like they kind of implied a world where like they forgot about like World War II and like Hitler and shit because like Chainsaw Man killed those devils. So like I always thought that was cool. Like they didn't just like go and say like, yeah, they don't remember this shit because this is how it works. It was more just like, oh, like they just implied it with the way they wrote it. Which
Has
was cool.
it ever helped you creatively for stuff? Like reading really wild shit. It's been like, damn, like actually in this manga, I remembered this. Cause like in my head, I'm like, okay, if I recommend him enough manga, maybe he gets like a crazy idea for an OTV video or something. I mean, and I hope we don't get burned alive or anything. But like maybe you're just like, wow, that was a really good moment. That's interesting.
I think really what manga gave me was sense of storytelling and story structure, but then also like without even knowing, it was influencing just how I compose images. Because like the layouts in manga are just so well done.
The
They're
framing.
so yeah.
I agree.
Like the framing is perfect. It's storyboards.
Yeah.
So like without knowing, I was probably just like studying how to storyboard and frame stuff.
And OTV, we were working on thumbnails, and you gave someone advice to just read manga.
Yeah, no, I actually we were working on thumbnails. Me and like our, what would you call Lauren? Socials and marketing. Sure, we'll say that.
Yeah.
She works with our thumbnail artists and stuff, and so she gives notes to them. And we were working together, and I asked her just like, wait a minute, do you read manga at all? She was like, not really. And I was like, you should. It's a really good reference for just good, especially for thumbnails, like good striking layouts. Yeah.
Did she end up reading manga?
I think she said she looked up one and started reading it, but I didn't follow up with her.
Yeah, I really want to know what she
Very
said.
curious what she
Yeah,
started with.
I'm so interested.
She's like, yeah, I found something called BL. It's pretty good.
Dude, that is a hot genre. Yaoi is like has been on top. That I do really hate what he just typed.
That's in someone's search history. I mean, not
Yeah.
that there's anything wrong with BL, but like,
Yeah.
your search recommendations in the future might be a little skewed.
I have a friend.
You don't know what BL is?
BL. This is for Jason. Is boys love. It's essentially two guys.
Did you know that there's a whole South Park episode on
BL?
What?
BL? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
There's a whole episode where who is it? I want to say it's Craig and Tweak. Yes, you familiar? Yeah. Came out of nowhere. It's just like one day. What is the plot of it? I think like, do people start shipping them and they're like, I guess we have to date. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, even South Park's aware of it. But really, I think we need to talk about Elfen Lied.
Elfen Lied.
Fuck it. I'm
Fuck
down.
yeah, I'm down. This is the first. I think this is one of the first anime things where I was just like, wow, people are just like, it's random and people are dying, and she's naked, but like people are just dying, and I'm just like, what is going on?
The way in which people died was like really graphic at the time too, compared to like
Yes.
other things I was reading. I want to say I read Elfen Lied before I read Berserk. And that was like when I was introduced to like, oh, it could have this like kind of cutesy art style, and then there's like a decapitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read Elfen Lied. I watched it, but that was one where like I felt I had to kind of hide
Yes.
the monitor.
No, it's really just like really gory, and then like
Naked chicks.
naked chicks, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and it's like in an art style that's not like usually that's like hardcore. You know, it's fucking medieval. It's like Berserk. It's like
Yeah.
you're decapitated. It's like no, it's like some weird like.
It looks like typical anime girls,
Yeah.
but this girl is decapitating
Yeah.
people with the power of her mind.
Like
Let me-
suddenly the whole military loses all their heads. And you're like, what?
I kind of like, but also like I remember it kind of traumatizing me because I think she like is like beheading or like she's like decapitating like pretty innocent looking like women.
Yeah.
I remember that being like, oh, because like usually if it's like a fucking ugly bastard, like no one really cares. But like it's the first time like where like innocent people are getting murdered. So it's like, oh fuck.
This Elfen Lied is the same author as.
The one about if the guy doesn't have sex with women, they die or some shit.
Yes.
I forgot what it's called.
Okay.
though.
Of course.
So
Sorry, of
the
course.
Elfen Lied. This is just a little backstory. The Elfen Lied author wrote Elfen Lied, right? Way back in.
Was that their first publication?
That was a crazy sentence that you just said, by the way.
I don't know what I said. And
I think you said something along the lines of the creator of Elfen Lied created Elfen Lied or something like that.
I am fucking an idiot.
All right,
And then
well,
I remember reading No, which is they did like a skiing like a skiing manga. It's just 4 no's.
oh yeah.
And then they did this one, which is Brindir in the
Brynhildr?
Darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. 180 chapters, and then they're doing Parallel Paradise. And in all of them, I think like they have like the same art style, and the girl gets naked somewhere in the arts
Always.
in the thing. And I'm just like, oh, this guy has like he has his style.
Is Parallel Paradise an isekai?
I don't remember.
I
Dude,
want
don't
to say the
remember.
guy is like reborn or teleported to this new world.
where it's like women.
Yeah, it's basically like men are insanely rare and like women are slowly dying because they don't get fucked by men.
I think
I'm pretty sure that's the premise.
Uh,
Like if they don't get fucked by men, they like turn into dust or some shit.
I would say that this guy is super popular. I think I see this guy's booth at AX or something, and people are like all time. Anyways, Elfen Lied.
So one of the reason I brought up Elfen Lied is it actually relates to OTV.
Oh.
So like I saw it, in middle school or whatever.
Yeah.
As one of those things where it's like someone mentions it, like, "Hey, you ever seen Elfen Lied?" You're like, "What?" And you're like, "You just gotta watch it. Sorry, I can't talk about it." And then so you look it up and you're like, it haunts you, but you have to watch it now.
It's like morbidly curious about it.
Yeah. This was either our first or second video with Ludwig where it was reverse charades.
Okay.
And I forget exactly what happened or what prompted it, but Ludwig said something like what are we watching, Elfen Lied? And all of us in the room were like, why do you know that? Like, why? What? Weird cut. But ever since then, I've that's played up in my head, similar to like Sydney saying like Nico Nico Ni in the improv video. Some of those lines just get burned into my head, and I'll hear them sometimes.
What are we watching? Elfen Lied?
Yeah.
Dude, actually, Ludwig's a weeb. Like, hella weeb. I started to realize everyone's a weeb. Like, I was on the Fear End podcast, and I'm just there, and I start slowly looking around, and I see, like, anime, manga, decorations across the room.
Wait, they read manga?
Or
is it just decoration?
I think it's
Those
just
fucking
decorations. And I see
posers
decorations left and right. And I'm like, what? That's a trigun. That's like a duplication of Vashti Sampine's gun. That's his other gun. That's like, it's like, oh my god, it's all
They own cool anime shit.
Yeah, and then
you don't own any cool anime shit, Scarra.
And then I start talking to like them about stuff, and Will Neff is just like, oh yeah, I watch My Hero Academia. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I love the bunny girl. I'm like,
Mirko?
yeah, I'm like,
I mean,
based, but okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wait, these guys are all weebs except for Cutie.
Yeah.
And Cutie's,
Well, Taylor Swift is kind of like anime. There's a whole extended universe, and
is it more like anime or Marvel?
leave a comment if Taylor Swift is like anime.
Yeah, leave a comment.
what do you think Taylor Swift's favorite series would be?
Elfen Lied.
Yeah, she's yeah, I think so too.
By the way, you should definitely, if you want to laugh, you should read Parallel Paradise sometime. The same guy who did Elfen Lied. Like, so it is an isekai. The guy dies and is transported to an alternate world where there are no men. And so the thing is, women don't. Like, the women in this world don't really encounter men. So when they get touched by a man, they instantly just, like, start squirting. I'm not even shitting you. They just, like, they go, like, fucking crazy. They, like, almost get paralyzed. And they're just, like, nonstop just coming in their pants.
This is the kind of thing that Jodi would be like, I'm done with anime.
Yeah, no, seriously.
No. Like, legit, this is one of those things where I'm like, oh, the author went from Elfen Lied, which was, like, had some really dark elements and whatever, to this. I'm like,
Yeah.
this must sell really well. Like, people must
Full
fucking
fan
love
service.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to say Parallel Paradise has like a semi like dark like serious story, but then there's the part where like he touches a girl's bare skin and they just like losing their fucking mind.
There has to be a story because like it's at like I think I just looked. It's like 100+ chapters.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
It's ongoing.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure it's still ongoing.
Literally updated 11 days ago. So this guy has been around the block.
the
He's
new
still
Dr.
here.
Stone. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been like here all the time.
Speaking of great romance manga,
Yeah.
we got to talk about Bakuman.
Yes, I love Bakuman. I fucking love Bakuman.
romance.
Yes,
That shit.
their love with the writing and the manga itself.
Bro,
That's
the romance was the weakest part of that fucking dude. I got baited into the I was reading, I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. Like she'll like marry him when like he becomes like a professional mangaka, right?
Yeah.
And then
I forgot there was a woman in this.
Yeah, no. The thing is, like, I
Wait,
think
So the
she-
romance is between the two artists. guys.
I thought you meant the two dudes. And I
No.
thought he was joking about BL. I didn't. Was there?
Wait, is that what you were talking about?
It could have gone either way.
Is there a girl in this?
There's a girl, like
Yeah.
the
that's
guy
what-
that he's in love with.
Oh, there.
he made a pact that he would marry her when he becomes a pro manga.
I am so sorry. I literally remember this as like those two, and I see them as like
No, but it is like those two because like she's basically like a non-factor in the series. Like she refuses to see him basically until he fulfills his promise.
right. That's
Yeah.
why it's like they make a pact together. Oh yeah.
Wait, if I remember correctly, I want to say that the girl's hot mom had a thing with his dad or something.
There's something like that. or
And but his
grandpa or
dad like
something.
died or something, right?
Yeah. It was an unrequited love. And then they're like, we got to do it for them.
Yeah. I do remember thinking like, damn, her
But-
mom is fucking hot.
But I do love that. Sorry to interrupt your MILF.
It's okay. You
Yeah.
always interrupt my MILF love declaration. That was so hard to say.
I love this manga. I love like really interesting, unique manga. This for me is like a
Yeah.
It's like this is like a sports manga to me.
This is like the entourage of manga,
This is your silver spoon.
Yeah, something like that.
where you get to. It showed how what the process is like.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And honestly, like some of the like fake things that he created in it that were like, this is a shonen, this is whatever. It was like, hey, I see you. Okay,
Dude,
pretty good.
it's actually learning more about the industry is just really interesting in general. I was talking to someone who was in the industry, and she's like, yeah, when I was in Japan, sometimes there's cafes that there's like a deadline day, and then a lot of the people, the mangaka during that day, go to a cafe together, and then some of them help each other during the deadline.
cool.
And
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
pretty cool.
that's fucking
Like assistants just helping assistants.
yeah. People are just helping, like, because everyone's just trying to get their shit done,
Yeah.
and it's like that's awesome.
That is awesome. But also like probably like not a great commentary on work conditions for manga assistants, but like, you know, whatever.
So a friend and I were inspired by this manga.
Yeah.
And we, over COVID, we made a webcomic together called She Sells Sunshine. And we submitted to like Webtoon, and it was a honorable mention. It didn't win, but it was an honorable mention, and eventually we were published by them, where they were like, hey, we liked your stuff, we'd love to make you like an official Webtoon.
That is
This was the one that you like sent to me, right?
Probably,
She
yeah.
read?
sells
She
suns.
Sells Sunshine.
So it's
yeah.
still there.
Still there, yeah.
If
I think you can look it up.
I think I remember like giving like critique on it, and like
Yeah, maybe.
and you were like, oh yeah, that was good.
Wait, you're telling me you've essentially made a manga? We
Yeah.
are the fakest fans.
I guess
Our-
I'm a mangaka.
Our
yeah.
guest is a mangaka. Yeah.
Yeah, this was our comic.
I'm gonna be honest. It's pretty good, man. For like a first attempt, that was pretty good.
Okay, so now we're on the webtoon topic. The only webtoon I remember was one of my artist friends. She was like, "Oh yeah, I room with someone." I'm like, "What does the person you room with do?" And she's like, "Yeah, they do a comic on Webtoons." I'm like, "What's the comic about?" Cutting fruit. And I was like, "That's kind of lame." And I was like, "Well, how cool could cutting fruit be?" I start looking up the cutting fruit webtoon, and it's awesome. It's so
What's it called?
not Fruit Ninja, Jason. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the premise of the world is like there's all these athletic things that you could do, but nothing is more athletic than cutting fruit. I am of the opinion that nothing is too silly of an idea or too mundane. You can make anything cool.
Yeah.
In manga, like you can make literally painting walls cool. Like fucking drywall. It doesn't fucking matter. There's ways to do it. Like the ideas, it's up to you. You know.
I mean, one of my favorite manga, like within the past couple of years, is Blue Period, and it's about a high school student becoming interested in the fine arts.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
It's a very unique,
Very unique.
very like I don't even know, because usually when you do art with manga, it's not like fine art. And this manga is like
It's fine arts.
how to become like a I don't know,
like
fine.
it's about like a delinquent high schooler who kind of is like good at everything and good with everyone, not really knowing what to do with his life, and then like he just finds art kind of randomly, and then
think I would-
decides to go to an art school.
I'd probably like this because I like all of the like what's it called? Don't mess with Azuken or something. Loved that.
You read some weird ones. Like I would remember you
I
coming.
don't know that one. What's it
I
called?
watched that one. I don't know if it's a manga.
I don't,
That one's about 3 girls making anime.
there was one you mentioned to me, and I remember looking at you, be like, "How do you know that?" It's a manga about a filmmaker making a movie with another girl. I think
Azuken, that's the one.
is that the one?
Yeah, it's called like Don't Touch Azuken or something. Keep your hands off Azuken. That's the one.
Oh, it is a manga.
It's super creative, and you can feel like the creator's
Oh,
love for,
I know.
This one
I've
is
seen this
super
series.
famous.
yeah.
Okay. I just remember thinking like the character design wasn't really doing it for me, but like if you're giving it the
So
thumbs up, I'm
I
kind
loved
of
it
down.
for a couple reasons. One is like it's got crazy world building for no reason. Like it's about 3 girls like in middle school or high school making anime, but they live in this weird like utopian city that every time you see it, you're like, wait, where are you? What is this? But yeah, it's like basically you go into each one's passions at certain points, and you just like the anime does it real justice. I've never read it, but the anime makes it like explore the imagination of these girls really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I might look into it. Yeah.
And then another one that I'm reading right now is Beat Love or Love?
That's the one you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's Beat Motion.
Beat Motion. Yeah.
And I was shocked because I'm like, you read this shit? Less than 20 chapters. How did you find this?
Beat Motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, how did you find this? You're like more up to date than people that would be like serious into it. I was like, wow.
It's about people making stuff.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, nah, this guy's a real one. Okay.
The girl is making music. The guy's making
Yes.
manga.
Animations.
Animations.
Yeah. Similar. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And then like she wanted him to make animations for her, but then like something, and then they're pursuing their dreams separately. I remember that.
It gives me Bakuman vibes.
Okay.
It's like we'll both do this, but separately.
I kind of want to reread Bakuman now. That shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, reread it, man.
The reason I brought up Bakuman too is because we went to Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
We toured their facility in Tokyo.
So cool, by the way.
And I'm forgetting exactly, but we met one of the editors.
Yeah.
That a character in Bakuman is
Based off of. Yes. Like
What?
one of the editors, yeah.
You never told what you. I bet you didn't tell me that just so I wouldn't be filled with fucking raging jealousy.
So when that happened, I texted my friend who I made that webtoon with, and I was like, dude, I met the guy who's like, is Bakuman. And then I also sent him photos of like the lobby, and he was like, oh my God, it's happening.
You're gonna have to show me which editor because I'm so curious now. Because I remember the editor designs in Bakuman were like so interesting, and like to hear that they are like based off of real people is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were essentially based off of the like everything in Bakuman is like pretty. I don't know about. It's like only slightly exaggerated.
It's dramatized. But
Yeah.
it's,
Oh,
like,
for sure. But like
accurate.
to see
Yeah.
like I mean like a lot of it shed a lot of insight onto like the whole manga creation process.
Yes.
Which honestly, after I read that, I was like, holy fuck! I'm so glad I'm not a manga artist. That
Why would
shit seems
anyone want to do
yeah,
that?
what the fuck? This seems so fucking difficult
So-
unless you're like an actual like savant, like that one dude
Yeah.
who has like the quill.
The crow
like,
guy?
Yeah.
Oh my
Or
god.
I would say Fujimoto is like crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm actually curious what Fujimoto looks like. I have no idea.
Right now, that guy is just so insane. I just feel like, oh, if you can do. Did you know that Look Back, the one shot, did I send you that?
I don't think I've seen it. No.
So Fujimoto,
Oh.
in his spare time, he wrote a 150 page, I think 120 to 150 page one shot.
you mentioned this to me. Yeah.
Okay, it's called Look Back. There is a website online where you can just read it all for free with no ads. Don't ask me how I know this. But it's an incredible one shot. I actually think after reading one of his one shots that he's a person built for one shots. Like he's incredible at them. It's becoming a movie.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, this guy in his spare time takes 3 months, just writes this shit. This guy's insane.
Yeah, Fujimoto only has like 2 serialized like manga properties,
Mm-hmm.
but he has like fucking like 10 one shots. He has so many one shots.
I don't know about that many, but he is definitely.
I looked at the fucking list for it, and it's
Really?
hold on, I'll look it up.
He's definitely prolific.
I love that he loves film. That's part of why I like Chainsaw Man so much.
Oh,
is like,
did he say he loved film somewhere?
Yeah, he's a huge movie buff.
Oh wait, you would know that if you read Fire Punch.
Oh, really?
He breaks the fourth wall in there.
So he loves movies, and then that's why in the
He has
Chainsaw
13
Man,
one shots. Sorry.
Wow.
in the Chainsaw Man anime opening, like the whole thing is just movie references.
It's
There's-
like hugely referential to like so many different fucking properties.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I feel like if we wanted, I don't know if you want to, but you could probably play that, and there's like a side by side of each thing.
You'll even need to play music for this.
Yeah, you can mute it.
Divine Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, so Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino movie. All the characters in the suits.
What?
Yeah, Pulp Fiction, another Tarantino movie. No Country for
You
Old
think
Men.
like this is all legit?
No, it's legit.
Yeah.
Like it's very
Oh.
clear that these are all like
They're
movie
like
references.
1-to-1 movie references.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, not all of them. This is just a reference to the manga, I guess. Apparently.
Yeah, Big Lebowski. That one, some people were claiming Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, I probably not.
It's possible.
Or not Love and Thunder, Thor Ragnarok, the good one.
The good
I feel like
one.
this isn't even getting all the references either.
Yeah, I think this one's missing some.
Makima is awesome. Huh.
You know, someone like commented in my chat once and they saw my Makima poster and they're like, guys who like Makima are a red flag. I was like, so fucking true, Queen.
You're not wrong. Don't worry. When the next season comes out and Reze comes,
Like
no spoilers because not even out yet. But fuck it, she's
she's sick.
fan favorite.
She's sick.
Fan favorite.
It really does like flabbergast me all the time how far behind anime is to manga versus manga.
Yes.
Like we cut out a whole discussion on Chainsaw Man spoilers for the anime that have been like out there information for the manga for like a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I keep forgetting that Demon Slayer is like still not close to being finished anime wise. And that manga series has been done
For a
years
long time.
now,
yes.
I think at this point,
But thank
right?
God it's finished. They don't have to go to some filler bullshit, which is what happened with a bunch of stuff.
Full Metal Alchemist, right?
Yeah, even like Bleach, whatever. Boruto.
Yes.
I think Boruto has filler. Like the anime itself had a lot of filler. If you watch the anime and read the manga, you'd be like, "What the fuck happened?"
That's so funny.
I think after I finish rereading Hunter x Hunter, I'm gonna give Boruto another shot. Just out of
Luckily,
curiosity.
we have Boruto guy right here.
You've read Boruto?
Well, not only like the Shippuden version of it.
Wait, so you
There's
read?
a Shippuden version of Boruto?
Yes. So they've Shippuden Boruto basically. When Boruto first came out, I was like, I was satisfied with Shippuden Naruto. Like I don't need this. I like read a couple chapters just to see how they were setting up the story, and I was like, yeah, you guys can have this one. But then randomly, so after we went to Shonen Jump in Japan, like their offices, they told us about this app that's like basically you can read all the manga for free. And so I downloaded that, the Shueisha app. And at one point,
By the way, you can only read 100 chapters a day.
oh, thank you for checking.
So just so you know, like it's not actually all free, guys. After 100 chapters, you have to wait till the next day.
That's
is
crazy.
That's why I paid for the Manga Plus app, which lets you read however many chapters if you're subscribed, which is not
You're
free.
wild. Yeah, I noticed because every so often I'll see like what's the top manga right now, and like the new, I don't know if it's Shippuden, it's called something else, like Generations or something, but the new Boruto was there, and I was like, what? Okay, I'll give it a shot, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. They basically like shook up the whole story.
So is it like a reset? Because Shippuden for Naruto for me just meant like, oh, this is just like the time skip where they got stronger.
It's a completely different plot. Like the time skip became something crazy, which
It's a little bit of all of that, yeah.
like we could just say like, hey, we're gonna talk a little bit about the spoilers of the time skip
Yeah.
for Boruto.
We'll talk about chapter 1. Just to like, we're not gonna get any further than that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about like essentially what happened in the time skip a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the time skip, which remember, I know nothing of like the original Boruto.
Yeah.
I just know whatever.
The original Boruto is essentially Naruto in the future. So Boruto is obviously Naruto's son, and during the a time period where technology is at the point where it's recreating ninja arts or simulating some sort of ninja arts, and so there's like this technological thing.
Oh wait, when they killed the fucking moon alien princess, did ninjutsu die?
No,
No,
it's
but I
just-
think that has to do with
the
a part
Boruto?
of it.
Okay.
but it's not like it gets replaced, but it's like technology is able to do really advanced stuff now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then go on.
So yeah, I think that was an early arc in the
Original Boruto?
Yeah, was like basically cheating by using like mechanical ninjutsu.
Mhm.
But skip ahead because we don't care about any of that. Skip ahead and having to do with like the moon alien princess girl. She somehow is involved. To be honest, I'm kind of like just grabbed on and seeing where it takes me. But basically we jump in and Boruto is now like badass god, where he has, long story short, a character has brainwashed the entire world into thinking that he is Naruto's son and not Boruto.
Imagine when they used the like genjutsu on the moon in the original one, or the idea was they were going to like mind control the world.
Right.
Imagine they did that, but made everyone forget.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like fucking Miles Morales, or not Miles Morales. It's like fucking Tom Holland Spider-Man,
Yeah.
where like everyone in the world forgets who you are.
Yes.
Except in this case, you were replaced by some other dude.
So what this guy did was swap places. So everyone thinks that he is Naruto's son and that Boruto killed Naruto.
Oh, so he's just Wait, that's actually kind of a cool,
he's
interesting story.
He's
Yeah.
national enemy number 1.
Yeah.
Is Kishimoto writing this again?
Yes.
Or has he
back.
always been writing this?
He's back.
He's back on board. I don't know if he was originally on it the full time, but I know for sure he's helping right now.
Wait, so are the dinosaurs? Is that anime filler shit?
I don't know anything about
I don't know
dinosaurs.
anything about
Wait,
that.
wait, hold on. Someone needs to confirm. Boruto had like raptors in it. I'm pretty sure. Like I want to say there was like a Jurassic Park ass looking clip. Sasuke fights an actual velociraptor,
That's correct.
and this is from Crunchyroll.
That might actually just be. Okay, what's a velociraptor gonna do? Like,
Okay, so now I need to read this manga to see if there are raptors in the original, or if this is like filler bullshit.
So I don't know anything
I don't know.
about
Is
this.
Sasuke missing an arm?
Yeah.
Yes.
But that happened from Shippuden.
Yeah.
Oh, like original?
Yeah.
Oh, he never got his arm back.
That was like his way of saying like, yeah, I fucked up.
Oh, dude, I completely forgot he. Wait, did Naruto lose his arm too then?
Did he really need?
No.
No. I think they're also in an era where you can regrow your arm, but he doesn't want
Yeah.
to.
Oh,
It's his reminder of, like-
okay, because I specifically remember there's like a panel in the manga where Naruto and Sasuke are holding blood splat hands, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I'm just saying is that did he really need to fuck up that raptor like that? Like he did it like he was beating a human. But don't you just like beat it?
It's a fucking velociraptor, bro.
All
Okay.
right, my bad, man.
Anyway, so this guy switched places with Boruto, and Boruto has been training under Sasuke's supervision for the past X number of years.
Oh, so Sasuke's the only one that knows that Boruto's not an imposter.
It's something like Sasuke like has also been brainwashed, but is like, that can't be possible. Let's train. Something like that.
The only person who knows is Sarada,
Yeah,
Who the fuck is that?
Sasuke's daughter.
Sasuke's daughter. Like
Which it makes no sense. He somehow had a child with Sakura.
Oh, is Sasuke's daughter the one that looks like a nerd?
yeah.
with the glasses.
Her name is
Nerds.
Salad.
Okay.
I see. That's one of the things that actually turned me off of Boruto was like, in no world is Sasuke not like a chaste individual who is just in the corner and.
I do feel like Sakura and Sasuke are like the most like forced relationship like in ever.
Yeah.
Like Sasuke was the most abusive motherfucking piece of shit guy ever, and Sakura was like, she is the epitome of I can fix him, like straight up. She
Yeah.
never gave up on his ass when she like really should have.
Like realistically, there's no way that couple happens.
Yeah.
He's like a hermit who lives in the forest kind of guy. Anyway, yeah, he has a daughter in this. And she's like the only one who knows for some reason.
Yep. So that's the time skip premise.
I'm like curious now. That
Yeah.
that actually is a pretty interesting premise.
No,
Yeah.
Naruto also has like all his eyes are different. He's got like he's got different eyes.
Wait, so even Naruto doesn't know who his actual son is?
So Naruto, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but
Oh.
we haven't seen him.
That's a spoiler.
Everyone, well, no, chapter 1. I'm not
Oh,
saying
okay,
anything.
chapter
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we haven't seen him. The whole village thinks that he's been killed by Boruto.
Okay.
The premise is interesting and definitely like I think if you're not gonna do a time skip that's like One Piece where it's like, hey, meet back here in 3 years. All right, peace, guys. And and then everyone goes their separate ways and you see all of them do their individual adventures. This is a really cool way to set up like the world.
Yeah,
Like everyone's all versus him, and then he gets to be super badass cool.
yeah, it's a nice twist.
Yeah, his Rasengan is giga OP.
He's got an OP one. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I mean, I would hope so.
there's a no. It's like you read it, you're like that. Okay.
Wait, were you the one where you told me like the Rasengan like has its own like gravitational field or some shit?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like something to do with the.
I mean,
Earth.
I'm interested, man. Like, listen, like whatever puts me off from like going back to reading One Piece, I'm fucking down. I am like literally.
me,
I gave myself homework to like read One Piece, and I'm finding every excuse. To
me
not
and
read One
Peter
Piece.
have a pact to read One Piece. I am still not at chapter 20 yet. It's been 2 weeks, and I feel so bad.
I've read 380 chapters of Hunter x Hunter
Because-
and I've read 2 chapters of One Piece since.
And I swear to God, I think what's gonna happen is if we need to talk about One Piece, I'm literally gonna drag Amanda over there onto the podcast, and I'm gonna be like, all right, explain to me why who Jinbei is, why is he cool, stuff like that.
Okay, I know why Jinbei's cool. Okay, that's like pretty fucking obvious. But like,
Okay,
I'm thinking like,
that-
where am I right now? Hazard something?
Punk Hazard.
Punk Hazard. Punk Hazard fucking sucks. right?
What's the clown's name? Bucky.
Yeah.
Does Bucky come back?
Yeah.
How many times?
Like
What?
Bucky's a huge character.
Well, I'm at a part where he's not important at all. So
yeah. Bucky starts as like the dumbest villain.
Buggy.
Oh, Buggy. Yeah. Why did I say?
Buggy the
I
clown.
said Bucky
Yeah.
at first. Yeah.
Wait, Buggy, the live action Buggy was I think my favorite character in
really good.
in the live action One Piece.
I liked Halepimo or whatever his.
Helmeppo was good too.
He was annoying as fuck. And I'm like, that's good. Good acting, man. I like it.
What'd you guys think of the live action One Piece?
I watched
overall?
4 episodes. I thought surprisingly good.
I also read 4 episodes. I also thought this is probably one of the best live action anime adaptations that I've seen. But I would still rate it like a 7.5.
I felt like it was good, but I like watching it. I was kind of like, oh, this is why it works. It's because like the original manga is like kind of quirky in its own way, and so I feel like they kind of had a pass in that like you look at like older ones like Dragon Ball Z, like that one's supposed to be taken kind of seriously, and then you see the live action, and you're like, oh no, what have you done?
It's cringe. But
Yeah.
like I think One Piece is kind of cringe, which is why like the One Piece live action works. Okay, sorry. When I say cringe, I don't mean it as like a pejorative. It's more like quirky. You know, it's
Yeah.
quirky. That's like
I
silly pirate shit, you know?
I actually I'm not sure. I said this before. I'm not sure if One Piece came out today that it would be like
as good as Black
good.
Clover. I agree. I completely agree.
because of like a lot of the I think world building that it was given and it goes up takes a while
Yeah.
to really show off like Oda's like brilliance essentially. And like I don't know if people would have waited for it.
The word I'm looking for is campy.
Campy.
Like-
yeah.
Like the live action One Piece is so campy, but it's like it's done in a way where it's like, oh, like you're aware that you're campy.
Yeah, I
it
think
works.
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I still don't like love it, and like a lot of the character designs were really fucking. I think Arlong, like the Arlong pirates, look so weird.
Yeah. And you can kind of see through the makeup there.
Even the guy with the jaw.
Oh
like,
yeah,
with Zoro.
I wanted, dude. They should have just gone like fucking The Rock or
No.
some shit. They needed someone massive.
I'm gonna be honest. The entire scene where they had Luffy meeting Zoro, that is an iconic scene to me in terms of how Luffy rescues Zoro, and then he rescues him by like finding his swords, not sure which one it is, jumps out of the tower, gives it to him, and he's like, "They're all my swords." And then they're trying to untie him. The firing squad fires, and he blocks all the bullets. He's like, "My body is made out of rubber," and he bounces them back. They don't do that in the live
they
action.
kind of fucked it up.
And
Like
I'm-
that was like
I-
such like a that's like the perfect scene to just recreate.
and I was so pissed because it shows off his ability, and then Zoro takes the 3 swords and blocks all of the like 26 Marine swords, and he blocks them all with 3, and then pushes them out. And I'm like, damn, they're so cool.
Yeah.
And they didn't show that. I was unreasonably mad.
I was
That
also
not
even
there.
upset by the way like he ate the rice ball that the girl made for him. Like it was just different. Like because the girl feeds it to him while he's like tied to like the cross or like the stake or whatever. And then he's like Luffy. He's like, "Hey, Luffy," or like, "Hey, pirate, feed that to me." And like it's covered in dirt and shit, right? And then he eats it and he's just delicious. Like oh, what a great
Yeah.
scene. But then I think in the correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I'm misremembering. I want to say in the live action, he's like not tied up. He's like in a bar when this happens. They like I just remember they completely reinterpreted the scene to be different. And like it just like didn't hit the same.
I don't remember, but I just remember there was, if you're like a really diehard reader and you wanted to follow like step by step, there's a lot of parts where I'm like, oh, they didn't have this. I feel like a lot of times they took interpretation in a way that I thought took away from the scene, but made it maybe more easily available to like people who weren't.
Yeah,
Well-
I suppose.
I think why they did that is because Cowboy Bebop. Because that was like meant to be a 1-to-1 recreation. And I think they realized like, oh, not everything translates.
No, not everything does translate, but some of the parts I feel like are
I think it's just the property. I think
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop just needed to be
to be shot and put out
treated.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I feel so bad because I know that like all the actors, you know, they did their best.
I will
Yeah.
just, I never watched Cowboy Bebop. I was just told not to. And I trusted the people who told me not to. And then I read some stuff online. And I'm like, well, I don't have first person stuff, but did you watch it?
I watched one episode.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't great, but then like what mostly dissuaded me was like the clips that I've seen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever watch the Japanese live actions of things?
I've heard the Japanese live action of Bleach is one of the best.
Of Bleach? Oh, I haven't
Yes.
seen that
I
one.
heard
have not
Rurouni
seen it.
Kenshin's not bad.
I watched the Netflix Japanese live action of Yu Yu Hakusho, and like it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't
I
bad.
think I saw some scenes from there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've always wanted to see? For a lot of Japanese anime, they have theater groups, and they do like moving panel theater plays in Japan.
Oh, that's cool.
And apparently the Haikyuu one is fucking insane. And like there was one for Yu Yu Hakusho as well, and the actors just look perfect for it. Like they look amazing. And I'm just like, that is awesome. And they do full like live action theater plays. Those are things I think would be incredible to watch. But yeah, I think one of the things I'm gonna do in my life is gonna be watching one of these anime live actions in theaters plays in Japan. The cast members are like
oh, here we go. Theater actors versus live action.
Oh, what the fuck?
the theater actors.
Is that supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like top and bottom? Like
Yeah.
that's who they're comparing? No. There's no way.
Yeah.
No. It's not, right? Because the first
No.
guy is the third guy,
Yeah.
and the second guy is the first guy.
Oh,
Third guy's the second.
right,
I was gonna
right.
say like that.
Yeah.
That
But-
would make no sense. Okay.
But still, I think.
Wait, the guy. I think the theater guys actually look way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the theater guys look more accurate.
They're
Yeah.
way more accurate.
which sucks because I think they don't care about the anime look. Like I think the live action tries to be like a little bit more like realistic.
real to the world.
but
yeah.
it's like the theater guys are like, fuck this. We know it's an anime play. You're here for this shit.
To be fair, the only hair that looks like outlandish would be the third guy's whose fucking character's name I forget.
PA.
PA,
Yeah.
badass by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's Celine's favorite character, I think.
Yeah, no shit. Celine likes Sasuke too. I
He
get
was
it.
my favorite character too.
I liked the Rose guy.
Kurama.
Yeah.
I like the main guy and
Wait,
the.
is
the
it
Pomodoro
Kurama
guy.
and then Kuwabara? Oh, they're both
Yeah.
K's. That's so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this is one of the shows where I really love the main character. Usually, like when there's shows shonen, I don't like the main character a lot. Like I like a lot of like the surrounding.
I
characters.
like when the main character's a tough guy, though. You know what I mean? Like a
Oh.
badass tough guy, and that's like I think what Yu Yu Hakusho is about. Because
Yeah.
like I think like Midoriya and like My Hero kind of is like
Yeah.
fucking fighting bitch. So, but I mean he is going through a lot, so maybe give him the pass.
Mm.
All right. I think that's gonna wrap up our podcast here, episode 8 of Fake Fans. Thank you, Brodin, for joining us. Is there anything you want to promote? Where can we find you? Projects, secret missions, whatever.
Yeah, you can find me at my name.
Brodin Plett.
Mhm,
2 T's.
mhm.
Got it.
I guess I do have something I can plug. New music soon for Temple of.
Yes.
Shit! Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking cool. How
I'm
many
big-
songs? Can you say?
I can't say because we're still
Okay.
more than one.
Wait,
Dope.
that's good.
That's cool.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
I'm excited. All right.
And excited.
Yeah, look out for Templov playing at a like
A
concert
movie
hall
theater
near
near
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank
Peace.
you guys.